Asian arrivals. The country pushes for more tourists from China.
An official oath. The Governor General swears in 2 new cabinet ministers.
And burning boats. ZNS on the scene as a vessel goes up in flames. The Bahamas tonight. The National Report starts now.
Now in HD. ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight. This portion of the news brought to you by BTC Every Day.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Candino Knowles.
And I'm Charisma Robinson.
Well, government is looking to increase tourist arrivals from China.
Minister of Tourism, the Honorable Obi Wilshcombe, says there is, in his words, tremendous potential in that Asian market.
China at the moment offers 100 million outbound visitors, people leaving China to go to destinations. 2 million such visitors go to the United States of America. We just have 1,000 coming to the Bahamas. So it tells you why we're so very focused on talking with the airlines there, and the meetings were outstanding. We're very pleased with the hotel operators we spoke with, and also we're very pleased with the tour directors and travel agents as well. So we're seeking to get more of that business. They already indicated that they want to come. They've asked us to focus on several things. One is China cuisine, 2 is safety, and the 3rd is ensuring that we have the signage up to make sure that the Chinese know what they're doing and where they are when they're in the Bahamas.
Minister Wilshcombe says the distance between China and the Bahamas remains a factor in the ongoing discussions.
The truth is, we have put in place now the visa waiver that allows now for the visitor to come directly to the Bahamas without a visa. But how do you get here? How do you get here? Do you stop in the United States where you still require a visa? Or do we consider the route that's being considered now by the Chinese, going to Cuba first, then coming to the Bahamas, or going to Canada first and coming to the Bahamas, or maybe even Panama? So we're looking at the various ways in which to do it to get them here, because it is a distance. It takes you 13 hours from the United States to get to China. So it just tells you how far it is, and they don't want too many stops. So we're working on that now. The tourism agency in China is now posting the Bahamas as a place to visit. It's now on their website, and they're inviting the Chinese to consider. So I believe we're in good shape.
Well, the Ministry of Labor is saying that it's not surprised by the 15.7% unemployment rate released by the Department of Statistics last week. Government pointed out in a statement issued today that it is working hard to secure a brighter future for all Bahamians and has already engaged in the necessary preparatory work to ensure a full economic recovery. Government says it's confident that the national economy is turning the corner and 2015 will be a banner year economically. The Christie administration credits the opening of several resorts, including Bahamar, Mahogany, a refurbished Holiday and Quality Inns, and the Hilton. Also, the construction of a new hotel, Marine Village, and boardwalk on Bay Street, and other announcements foreshadowed by the Prime Minister that promised to add to the country's economic stimulus, creating many more job opportunities for Bahamians. Add to that the Prime Minister's successful trade mission to China, where the government inked a reciprocal air services agreement between the civil aviation authorities of both countries to facilitate increased airlift to bolster our tourism product.
Honorary chairman and co-owner of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, Sir Jack Hayward, has died. He passed away in Florida this morning after being ill for several months.
Port Authority officials say he's left a wonderful legacy, and his death represents a tremendous loss.
Honorable Perry Christie released a statement of condolence today, saying Sir Jack was a colorful, larger-than-life personality who was held in great affection by the Bahamian people and by successful governments of our nation. Mr. Christie says he was widely admired for his candor, warmth, and generous philanthropy, and deeply held dual patriotism for his native England and the Bahamas. He was passionately committed to the advancements of Freeport in particular, through good times and in bad. He remained steadfast in his loyalty to our nation's second city and never lost faith in its future. Today, the Minister of Grand Bahama, Michael Darville, and Tourism Minister and Member of Parliament for West Grand Bahama and Bimini, Obi Wilshcombe, had high praises for Sir Jack Hayward and his contributions to Grand Bahama.
extending from the time his father all the way to his death a couple of hours ago. I'm sure the whole of Grand Bahama will take this opportunity to remember him for the contribution he's made in the lives and the legacy of Grand Bahama under the Hawksbill Creek Agreement.
Jack Haywood did his part. He didn't always agree with everything he said. He stood for what he believed in. He came, and he always wanted the hands of Freeport to be in the hands of people who care, which told me a lot about his heart for the island, his heart for the people of Grand Bahama. He wanted it to move forward. Even as he got older, he said, if I am going to relinquish, I want to make sure it ends up in the hands of people who care about, who see the vision we had, who understand the forward progress we would like to see.
Well, Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Perry Christie, promising to identify young hopefuls for the ranks of government as he positions the Bahamas for future development and sound governance. Mr. Christie spoke at the swearing-in ceremony for two cabinet ministers, one ascending to higher office while the other becomes the newest face around the table. Clint Watson reports.
All things, I will be a true and faithful minister, so help me God.
Having taken the oath of office, Hope Strawn becomes the new Minister of Financial Services, and Arnold Forbes joins the cabinet in the newly created post of Minister of State for Works and Urban Development. Both ministers express gratitude to colleagues, supporters, and family members. Arnold Forbes' story is a unique one, not just because of his humble beginnings, but because, in his words, he was given life twice, once by his mother and the second time by his wife after needing a kidney transplant.
My road to this improbable moment in time has been one filled with mountaintop experiences and a walk through the valley of the shadow of death. But it has only given me the resolve to keep fighting for my family and my country. For this country belongs to us, but it also belongs to God.
Minister Hope Strawn considers this season one where the Bahamas is at a turning point and requires serious decisions to be made.
It takes courage, and it takes stickability. It takes being able to sort of disregard, not disregard to the extent that you don't listen, but being able to actually overcome the naysayers, of which there are many in this land. And so I want to ask that each of you pray for our success, the success of myself and for Arnold, for our families, for our government, led by the Right Honorable Perry Christie, as we move forward in these troubling and treacherous times. But with God ahead of us, I believe that we will succeed.
Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Perry Christie, is challenging the new ministers, reminding them that people will differ from them, but such is our democracy, and in no way should they allow themselves to reach a point of disrespect. He says while his government must make tough decisions, it should not interfere with their ability to reach people and do all they can for people.
In the process of identifying young people who will take this country into the future, that's what Lyndon Pindling did for me. And that's what I have to do for those of you of that generation. So that my children would be able to know that there are good people. And this is whether they're good FNMs or good PLPs, but they are good people in public life who make this democracy an enriching and rich experience for those of us who live in this country.
Prime Minister Christie expressing his confidence in Hope Strawn and Arnold Forbes went as far as to say he hopes at the end of the day they continue to work hard. He hopes he'll run again, win again, whether he's there or not. Clint Watson, ZNS Network News.
All Progressive Liberal Party Chairman Bradley Roberts says the Free National Movement is engaged in a diabolical plot for the Bank of the Bahamas. He says the intentions of the FNM is to create problems for BOB and blame it on the current government. However, Roberts says the PLP administration has worked diligently and responsibly in designing and executing a rescue plan for the bank, which is saddled with $100 million worth of bad loans approved, Mr. Roberts says, by the FNM appointed board of directors when the now FNM leader Dr. Hubert Minnis sat around the cabinet table. Mr. Roberts says out of one side of their mouths, the FNM talks about how much they want to help the country and work with government, but at every turn they appear determined to undermine the policies of the government for purely selfish political reasons. The PLP chairman says Dr. Minnis knows that the current board inherited these loans and the decisions of the former F&M appointed board, saying they are the ones who put the bank in what he called this mess. Faced with this and a tattered economy, along with the problems at the National Insurance Board and the challenges at the public hospital, Mr. Roberts says government has moved in to secure the Bank of the Bahamas and protect the investment of thousands of shareholders. PLP chairman says governments around the world employed the identical policy to shore up major institutions, thereby saving their local industries and national economies.
Coming up, this ferry goes up in flames. Find out what happened to the 6 passengers on board.
And then a big fighter returns home a champion. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight.
This segment of the news is brought to you by Shell Quality Fuels.